I want to talk more about the victims and the heroes of this tragic shooting. The gunman killing at least 50 and injuring 53 others. Those people, parents, sons, daughters, and loved ones of so many. And in those moments of terror, so many heroes stepping in to help and save lives.
Among the deceased, 23-year-old Stanley Almodovar, 20-year-old Luis Omar Ocasio-Capo, and 37-year-old Kimberly Morris, killed on duty working Saturday night as a security guard at Pulse. The lives of 22-year-old Juan Guerrero and his boyfriend, Christopher Linenin, also taken in the massacre. Linenin's mother with an emotional plea Sunday before finding out her son had died.
When he was in high school, he started the Gay Straight Alliance. I've been so proud of him for that. Please, let's all just get along. We're on this earth for such a short time. Let's try to get rid of the hatred and the violence.
Friends and family receiving heartbreaking messages from their loved ones trapped inside.
I got shot. I'm bleeding out. I think I'm dying. I love you guys. Tell mom, dad, everyone I said I love them.
This mother receiving a detailed account of her son's last minutes through texts. 30-year-old son Eddie Justice barricaded in the bathroom. This text reading, "He's coming. I'm gonna die."
He said he has us and he's gonna kill us, and that was it.
Many of the 53 wounded still alive thanks to the quick thinking of strangers.
My only instinct was to help everybody else around me. I saw my buddy Juan, who is the bartender, and first thing I do is I see his wound and I take off my shirt and I just tie my shirt around his leg to stop the bleeding.
Overnight, vigils honoring the deceased, offering comfort to those who haven't lost hope.
You don't believe your brother's dead?
No, I don't, and I refuse to believe that.
How important is hope to you right now in this moment?
He's the main thing. He's the only reason why I'm standing.
We just checked in with Barone a little while ago. He has still not heard from his brother. He said he is devastated and yet remains hopeful at the same time. We want to now turn to one of those heroes from the shooting. Joshua McGill fled the bar during the attack and came across Pulse bartender Rodney Sumter, who'd been shot 3 times. Joshua used his shirt as a tourniquet to stop Rodney's bleeding and went with him to the hospital, and that is where we find Joshua at this hour this morning. Thanks for being with us this morning, Joshua.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you very much for having me.
Tell me what the latest is with Rodney. I know he has surgery scheduled in just a bit. How is he doing?
I checked up on him yesterday, and he seemed to be stable. I wasn't able to see him due to not, he was still in the emergency department, but I did get confirmation last night from one of his friends or family relatives that he was stable and that he was doing okay and that he would be having a surgery this morning at 7:30. So we're just standing by to see if I'm able to meet with him. If not, we're just hoping maybe I can see him sometime later on today, or if not tomorrow.
Joshua, you most certainly saved Rodney's life. Walk us through those moments when you were able to escape the bar when the shots rang out. Tell me what happened next and what you saw.
At first, I didn't really know what was going on. It was a typical night. It was very fun. It was very end of the bar time. They had already did last call. Luckily, my roommates and I were near the back patio exit, which is where the back patio bar is. We left once we heard the initial gunshots and hopped over the fence eventually. That's when we ran in the parking lot to the safety zone that was set up as the perimeter from the police. During running through the parking lot, I did hear some gunshots again, and I jumped, and that's when I hid behind a car. And my roommates kept going, and I yelled for them to just, "Don't worry about me, I'm fine, I'll hide." Initially, when the gunshots got further away, that's when I kind of peeked around to make my run for it. That's when I actually found Rodney kind of limping around, and he was mumbling, he needs help. I went and grabbed him, brought him behind the car where I was. I told him everything was going to be okay. I'm here to help him. He told me he thinks he's been shot. So that's when I noticed he had been shot once in each arm. I took it upon myself to let him know that I'm going to try to stop the bleeding. I took my shirt off, tied it around his first initial gunshot wound on his left arm. I took his shirt off, tied it around his other arm where the other gunshot wound was, We proceeded to dodge and weave through the parking lot. That's when I noticed he had another gunshot wound on his upper back area, because that's when he was starting to complain about pain. I just applied as much pressure as I could as we were walking him to the nearest officer that was on standby. Once getting to the officer, he basically, told us to lay low. He did say that there was no ambulance that were going to be arriving on scene, but they were going to transport us to the emergency department via police patrol car. The officer said, here's all I need to do is keep him conscious, and when you get into the patrol car, we're going to have you lay on your back, and you're going to have Rodney lay on top of you, and I want you to squeeze his back wound as tight as you can to constrict the blood and keep it to where he doesn't bleed out. During the process of riding to the emergency department, I can hear the police officers in the front seat saying, keep him conscious, talk to him. That's when I learned his name. I was telling him my name, where I'm from, how old I am. I was asking him the same questions. He told me his name was Rodney. He's 27, from Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
He has a little brother. I told him, stick with me. You're going to be fine. I promise you, everything's going to be okay. We're almost to the emergency department. I did, however, tell him, I'm not sure if you're religious or not, but we're going to say a quick prayer. And,
you prayed with him.
So I said a prayer for him. Yes, ma'am.
I know that you prayed
we
with
said
him,
a quick
and
prayer.
I mean, you were incredible on every level, Joshua. Just physically, actually helping him, emotionally helping him, spiritually helping him. Our thoughts are certainly with Rodney as he goes into surgery, and with you and all the victims there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Joshua.
Thank you. Not a problem.